For this assignment, number 14, I will work on Photoshop's Automate and PhotoMerge function. It is one of the Photoshop functions I use quite a bit. Depending on the equipment I have on hand when I'm on location, access, and point of view, I usually will shoot panoramas using a Canon 1DX Mark III with a 70 to 200 or 16 to 35 or 24 to 70 f2.8L lens. So to start, I have Photoshop open. I just need to double click and reactivate it so it's visible. So here goes. So to begin, I would go File, Automate, and then I go to PhotoMerge. The auto layout is selected by default, as you notice on the dialog box, and then on the source files area we're gonna say we will use files, and I need to use this area and tell Photoshop where are the files, what are the files I want to use. So I would click on Browse, and I happen to have navigated to the folder where my images are, and then I'm gonna select the first image, and then with the Shift key I will also select the last image, so select the contiguous files that I want to merge. So at the bottom right corner I would click Open. This will let Photoshop collect the files and basically ask me what is it that I want to do next. What I want to do next is check geometric distortion correction and content aware fill transparent areas. And so then I'll go back up here on the upper right corner and click OK to let Photoshop know let's go and merge the files. Okay. So if you'll notice, Photoshop is collecting the images and putting them on a separate layer on the layers panel. I did select a few big files, so this process will take a few moments, and what it will do is align the layers based on the content of each image. So I'm going to stop the recording here. We'll pick it up when this process is done. All right. So what you're seeing on the screen is the initial resulting merge image based on the 6 images I chose. So if you'll notice, there is now a new layer on the layers panel with and it's indicated that it is the merged image. So at this point, what I'd like to do is basically save this file as a PSD file still, because it will save me time if I want to work on this image again later. So what I usually do is, well, first, if you'll notice these running dashes or ants, some of the areas were automatically filled in by Photoshop because I asked it to do fill in the blank areas. So I'm going to do Command D to deselect those. And I'm going to go File, Save As, and I will retain the PSD format, and I'm just going to call this Merge 6, because I don't remember what I called the other ones. And then we're going to call this 6, and then we'll basically save it in the same file folder. And it's Photoshop, and I'm going to click Save and click OK. So now I have 6 images blended, merged, and the next thing I want to do is I want to work on this image, but first I have to flatten the image to work on it. So I'm going to go to Layer, Flatten Image, and then if you'll notice, now it's flattened. And I will again save this as a flat file, Save As, and so I know which file is the flat file. It's for me to just quickly see. And then I am retaining the PSD file name, save it. Okay, so here's our image, 6 images blended, merged onto one image. And perhaps I just want to edit this bottom area just a tad. Okay, I guess that looks good. I will accept that one and press return to accept the crop I just did. All right, so now what I usually do is minimally, when I have the image, I go to adjustment, and then I go to curves, and I usually go to options, and I enhance the per channel requests, and I click OK. If you'll notice, there's some slight adjustments that are happening, so I click OK, and then again OK. And then the next step is I go adjustment, levels, and without fiddling too much with the different channels right now, I will just click on the auto button, and it will make some slight adjustments, and I can live with those for now, and click OK. So now my image has been flattened a little bit or adjusted a little bit, and I'm going to check for the size. Image size. Haha, it's a huge file. And if I'm going to post this, let's say to my website based out of Sweden, I'm going to maybe adjust the size of this. But first, let me cancel out of this and save that file again, because I did make some changes. So now I can go to image size. I'll just do a 12, and I will retain the 300 resolution because I want to share a high res. So I say click OK. So now I have a 12:4 image, and then again I'm gonna save it again. Save as. It's still the flat file, but I want the size here 12:4, so I know which one is the smaller file for visual help. Say OK. So now what I'll do is say view, fit on screen, and now we are now ready for Professor Rollins' color correction lesson that he has posted. So I'll go to curves, and basically this is where his tutorial begins.